Alright, let's be honest, for a while there, it felt like the world was being run by a reality TV host who got bored with the plot. And by that, I mean the Trump administration, in case that wasn't nauseatingly clear. International diplomacy was like a drunken tightrope walk over a pool of chum. Messy, unpredictable, and frankly, you just didn't want to see someone fall. But in times of global uncertainty, who did Canada turn to? Who were the true friends, the ride or dies, the ones who didn't just send thoughts and prayers via tweet, but actually showed up? Well, strap yourselves in, because we're about to dive into the 10 countries that stood by Canada like a loyal moose during mating season. And let me tell you, these weren't just your casual acquaintances, popping by for a quick maple syrup shot and a sorry before dashing off. No, these were the allies who rolled up their sleeves, looked at the dumpster fire of global politics and said, "You know what? We got you, Canada. Let's build something better together." Heartwarming, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, you hosers. First up, we've got Germany, a country that knows a thing or two about needing good allies in tough times. Germany, under Angela Merkel, emerged as a defender of the liberal international order. They pushed back against Trump's protectionist trade policies and doubled down on climate change commitments. Germany and Canada deepened cooperation on security, defense, and human rights. Thank you, Germany, for always having Canada's back. Next up, we've got France, a country that knows a thing or two about sticking it to the man. I mean, their national motto literally translates to liberty, equality, fraternity. So it's no surprise that when Trump started throwing around tariffs like confetti at a bad wedding, France, under the leadership of President Emmanuel Macron, decided to channel their inner revolutionaries. France and Canada joined forces to defend the rules-based international order, promoting free trade and pushing back against Trump's America First agenda, which, let's be honest, often felt a lot like America only. France and Canada also found common ground on issues like climate change, gender equality, and multilateralism. Remember when Trump pulled the US out of the Paris Climate Agreement? Yeah, France and Canada basically said, "Hold my croissant," and doubled down on their commitment to fighting climate change. So, merci beaucoup, France, for being a beacon of reason and cooperation in a world that often felt like it was losing its mind. You showed us that true friendship means standing up for each other, even when it's tough. Now, let's talk about the United Kingdom, a country that's no stranger to a bit of political drama. I mean, they invented the Magna Carta, for crying out loud. So when Trump came along, throwing tantrums and tweeting insults like a teenager hopped up on sugar and spite, the UK, under the leadership of Prime Minister Theresa May, did what they do best. They kept calm and carried on. They maintained a stiff upper lip, at least publicly, while quietly working behind the scenes to smooth over diplomatic wrinkles and minimize the damage. The UK and Canada didn't always see eye to eye with Trump. They had their fair share of disagreements, especially when it came to things like trade and foreign policy. But even when they disagreed, they did so with a level of respect and decorum that was often lacking in Trump's own interactions. So, cheers to the United Kingdom for being the voice of reason and stability in a world that often felt like it was teetering on the brink. You showed us that even in the face of chaos, it's possible to maintain your composure, your dignity, and your commitment to international cooperation. Let's hop across the pond to Japan, known for its technological prowess and love of all things kawaii. Japan maintained serenity and strategic patience under Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. They strengthened ties with Canada, signing the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. Japan and Canada collaborated on security, climate change, and promoting democracy. Arigato gozaimasu, Japan, for being a reliable friend and partner to Canada. Let's head down under to Australia, a land of sunshine, surfing, and an uncanny ability to produce venomous creatures. Australia, under Prime Ministers Turnbull and Morrison, stood by Canada, offering support and solidarity. Australia and Canada share a deep friendship, rooted in common values and a shared history. They strengthen economic and security ties, promoting free trade and addressing global challenges. Cooperation is key in an interconnected world. Australia opposed Trump's tariffs on Canadian steel, standing up for their mate. Cheers to Australia for being loyal, supportive, and always up for a good time. You guys are the true definition of mateship. Now, let's pop over to New Zealand. a land of breathtaking scenery and sheep that outnumber people. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern can give birth, run a country, and rock a badass tattoo. New Zealand and Canada share common values, a love of the great outdoors, and respect for the environment. They work together on climate change, trade, and peace in the Asia-Pacific region. Thank you, New Zealand, for navigating international politics with grace and intelligence. Let's head over to Sweden, a land of sleek design and social justice. Sweden reacted to Trump's era with concern and determination. They upheld their values, working with Canada on human rights and climate change. Sweden's commitment to multilateralism and peace is unwavering. Tack saw Mick at Sweden for being a beacon of hope and sanity. Chapter 8. Norway, more than just fjords and Vikings. Let's journey north to Norway, a land of stunning fjords, epic Viking history, and a deep-seated love of nature. So, when Trump came along, disrupting the global order like a rogue wave crashing into a peaceful harbor, Norway, with its long tradition of peacemaking and diplomacy, reacted with a mix of concern and a firm commitment to upholding the values of international cooperation. Norway and Canada have always shared a special bond, rooted in a love of the outdoors, a commitment to environmental protection, and a belief in the power of dialogue and diplomacy. During the Trump era, Norway and Canada continued to strengthen their ties, working together on issues like climate change mitigation, Arctic cooperation, and promoting sustainable development. And let's not forget Norway's impressive track record as a peace mediator. So, Tusen takk, Norway, for being a constant source of inspiration and a true friend to Canada and the world. You've shown us that even in the face of global uncertainty, it's possible to remain optimistic, to work towards a better future, and to always strive for peace, understanding, and cooperation. Chapter 9. The Netherlands, keeping it real, keeping it kind. Let's bike on over to the Netherlands, a land of canals, windmills, and a refreshingly straightforward approach to, well, pretty much everything. So, when Trump came along, bulldozing through international norms like a runaway stroopwafel cart, the Netherlands, with its long tradition of diplomacy and consensus building, reacted with a mix of amusement and exasperation. The Netherlands and Canada have always shared a strong bond, rooted in a commitment to liberal values, international cooperation, and a deep respect for human rights. During the Trump era, the Netherlands and Canada continued to work together on a range of issues, from promoting free trade and sustainable development, to advocating for LGBTQ+ rights and addressing the global refugee crisis. And let's not forget the Netherlands' unwavering commitment to international law and multilateralism. So, dank jewel, Netherlands, for being a voice of reason, a champion of human rights, and a true friend to Canada and the world. You've shown us that it's possible to be both principled and pragmatic, to stand up for what you believe in while still engaging in constructive dialogue, and to always strive for a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Chapter 10. South Korea, Strength Through Shared Values. Let's jet over to South Korea, a land of K-pop, kimchi, and a remarkable ability to blend ancient traditions with cutting-edge technology. So when Trump arrived on the world stage, shaking things up like a K-pop dance routine, South Korea, with its history of navigating complex geopolitical realities, reacted with a mix of caution and a strategic approach to safeguarding their interests. South Korea and Canada have always shared a strong bond, forged through shared sacrifice during the Korean War, and strengthened by a commitment to democracy, human rights, and a rules-based international order. During the Trump era, South Korea and Canada continued to deepen their ties, working together on issues like denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, promoting free trade, and addressing global challenges like climate change and pandemics. And let's not forget South Korea's remarkable economic transformation. So, 감사합니다 South Korea, for being a reliable partner, a steadfast ally, and a true friend to Canada and the world. You've shown us that even in the face of adversity, it's possible to rise above challenges, to build a brighter future, and to always strive for peace, prosperity, and progress. Outro: A World of Friends. So there you have it, folks, 10 countries that stood by Canada during the tumultuous Trump era. They proved that even when the world feels like it's going to hell in a handbasket, true friendship can weather any storm. These countries showed us that solidarity isn't just a word, it's a verb. They reminded us that even in the face of division and uncertainty, there's still hope for a more cooperative, more just and more peaceful world. A world where countries work together to tackle shared challenges, where differences are respected, and where everyone, regardless of their background or beliefs, has a seat at the table. So, let's keep the spirit of international cooperation alive. And if you ever find yourself in need of a friend, just remember, Canada's got your back. And apparently so do these 10 awesome countries.